Hello friends, today we're diving into how to create the best pool plan for yourself. I'm talking about smart, calculated currency savings that ensures that you get the characters that you want and understand Bluepark's long-term development strategy to keep your account ahead of the curve and stay competitive in endgame. So looking at the gacha system, we have a pretty generous 70 pool pity for a 6-star, with the soft pity kicking in at 60. Most banners feature a 50-50 chance for the rate up unit. If you lose, the next 6-star is guaranteed to be the banner character. This is the same for true limited and collaboration characters, with the exception of 200 copy cassettes on their debut and 100 pull free copies like in the Assassin's Creed collaboration. Our primary currency is clear drops or crystal drops converted into unilogs, but it's never enough if you don't plan. The reason why a pool plan is so crucial is because of Bluepark's development strategy, which involves these three key pillars. Bluepark continuously releases progressively harder endgame content in the form of Limbo, and then to Reveries in the Rain and Lucidscape. These contents are designed to challenge not just your character levels, but your entire roster depth and strategic versatility. In addition to this, Limbo and Lucidscape are the only sources of renewing clear drops available in the game, which is likely to get expanded on if Bluepark wants to release more power creep. They release new 6-star units with unique mechanics that specifically counter or excel in the new endgame environments, often rotating through the 6 Afflatus types to ensure no single team dominates everything. Although we've hit this weird point where the top 4 archetypes can clear everything, but that is currently circumvented by not being able to reuse the same character for the same level like in Reveries. They introduced true limited characters on special banners who are crucial to some newly released endgame content, like Liang Yue in 400m-1 in patch 2.5, or as of late, they generally just trivialize the endgame. This creates a strong incentive to pull, and missing them means you'll struggle until the next generation of characters arrives, like when Kiparita came to solve the problem of 400m-1 in 2.7. Understanding this full cycle is how you stay ahead. To build a plan, we first need to understand your income. A standard patch lasts about 6 weeks, and historically, we see a minimum of 70 to 110 pools available for someone who is free to play. This comes from your dailies, your weeklies, limbo resets, event rewards, and login bonuses and promotion codes. Looking at the release schedule, we get 2 new 6-star units split into 2 3-week banners per patch. For special patches like anniversaries or collaborations like the Assassin's Creed event, Bluepark releases 2 characters while often rerunning the previous anniversary character or creating a strong lineup of Euphoria characters to chase as well. So this is the core of your strategy. Since you have a 50-50 chance to get a featured unit, you need 140 pulls saved to guarantee the character you want. Your average of roughly 90 pulls per patch means that you can guarantee a targeted character roughly every 2 patches if you skip everything in between. Now for a little more advanced step in pull planning, moving beyond even the CN schedule. While the CN server gives us 3 patches worth of foresight, we can use Bluepark's design philosophy to plan for units that haven't even been announced yet. And here's how that's going to help. Bluepark must, by nature of the Afflatus system, release powerful units for all 6 types. If a certain Afflatus, like Plant, hasn't had a game-breaking DPS released in a true limited or meta-defining standard banner for several months, you can predict that one is coming soon. The same applies to supports or healers for a neglected type. In-game content always presents a new mechanical problem. Reveries required a high DPS check and mechanical knowledge, often gated behind characters. Lucidscape required high tier AoE or specific counter mechanics. If a future CN update introduces a new endgame mode that severely punishes a certain playstyle, for instance ramping, you can predict that the next character will be designed to bring burst damage or control. Knowing this, you don't just ask Who is next? You ask which Afflatus is the weakest on my account, and when is that Afflatus most likely to get a true limited unit or an archetype shuffle expansion. You can choose to skip current good units to hold for the truly essential character that solves your account's biggest weakness months down the line. For instance, I know that I have a growing list of Blood Tithe and Dynamo units, so I can start saving and looking at impromptu or rank up or ultimate teams to decide which comp I want to build next. As to the question of Euphoria updates, start by thinking about their Afflatus type, their niche, or underutilized parts of their kit, and how many characters share similar mechanics as part of their kit. So to recap, here's your definitive plan. Make sure that at least 2 patches ahead of the half anniversary, a Chinese New Year, a game anniversary, or a collaboration, you have at least 140 pools worth of clear drops that are banked. Do a roster audit. Check your team's Afflatus coverage, your DPS, your sustains, your support archetypes, and identify your biggest weakness. Work down from the list of endgame that gets more and more challenging. So in the order of Limbo and Lucidscape, and then Voyages and Reveries, and whatever else comes in the future. Look for which Afflatus type is due for the next top tier unit and mark the predicted banner cycle on your plan. For example, in 3.2 during the 2.5 year anniversary, we'll be getting a plant-based true limited. It can go one of 3 ways. It may well be another situation where Euphoria Marcus and Euphoria Argus is a prelude to something much stronger as a main DPS for the rank up team, kind of like what happened with Eternity's E2 before Nordica in 2.8, or the control archetype of Noir, Ananli, and Druvis becoming expanded upon, or it can even be a Afflatus irrelevant buff to the ultimate team, which has a number of characters but is underperforming in relation to the meta teams. I hope this provided a little more context and nuance in how you should develop your own pool strategy going forward. Even as a free-to-play, so long as you remain consistent and plan ahead without taking risks with your clear drops, you will always have options that become available.